It's not clickbait. What you're about to see really is a behind-the-scenes look at a $2,000 tennis lesson, except it's not really a tennis lesson. It's something completely different than that. And if you're watching right now, more than likely it's not for you, because this is not for most tennis players. Frankly, even if you could afford it, what you're about to see is not a good fit for most tennis players. You have to have the right mindset and perspective and mentality and enjoy a certain type of analysis and detailed work. So rather than explain it all and actually try to rationalize the price or anything like that, go ahead and just watch. What you're about to see is a real life behind the scenes look. If you appreciate us showing you that, please do me a favor and click the like button down below. It really helps us, helps the video a lot. Let's dive right into it.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Hey, Joe. Yeah, good morning. I can hear you.
Can you see me now?
There you are. How's it going?
Going good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, my main goal is to figure out like what is the status of where your skills are now and how you feel about them, and then B, get a clear roadmap, or as clear as what you have right now, of where do you want to go, like what path do you want to take. How would you prioritize? Let's just say hypothetically that in our day together we get to 3 or 4 like kind of big topics or elements of your game. What would your preference be? Let's just say we could get to 4. What would those top 4 be?
For me, I mean, it would start with the backhand,
Okay.
for sure. And the way I look at it, Ian, is if I was playing me, how would I beat me? Is always the way I assess my own game. And I would attack the backhand, which is why I made the decision, the commitment to really try to fix it.
We're gonna start with your backhand, but
Okay.
an element that I think is really core on your backhand side is mirrored on both.
Okay.
And that has to do with preparation. And so if your core setup from the beginning is lacking or flawed, everything else about the stroke has to play catch up.
Yep.
And you have an ability to do that. You've got a good skill for finding the ball, and you're a good athlete. You've got good coordination. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple elements here. There's some technical elements we could talk about that could help you use your body more like strongly and athletically and that sort of thing. But to me, if you're not set up well and in an athletic position early enough, then all of the like power positions and like kinetic chain and all that, like it's all still good and relevant, but you're playing from behind the 8 ball like the whole time. All we're gonna do here is every time the ball is struck from the other player, we're gonna do a quick analysis of where Rafa is when the ball bounces. So here's the bounce right here.
Yep.
He's in a fully prepared position here with his body. Yep. If the ball was like right on his doorstep, he could go ahead and pull the trigger here and go through with his whole forward swing, use his entire body. And so there's still some stuff that's gonna happen. Like his racket's gonna flow backwards, and then he's got lots of time is what I'm trying to get at here.
For sure.
But from this position, he's in his unit turn. This is his prepared position. Yep. And so the hallmarks here, like the key elements are his hips are just about 90 degrees to the baseline. Yep. And his shoulders are turned a little bit past that. And so he's got some coil with his upper body.
Yeah, you're right.
And his hands are both fully prepared, and his racket is in a back position.
Yep.
So let's look for when his hips are 90 degrees. That's right here. His shoulders are going to turn a little bit more than that. And by the time the ball bounces, again, his hands are all the way back. He's in his dropped position. From here, he can go ahead and pull forwards and make the swing. Yep. And the ball hasn't bounced yet. There's the bounce. Wow. Then he makes his forward swing. In a way, he's making it really easy on himself so that when it does bounce, if he needs to make any kind of last second adjustments or like tweaks or like, oh crap, like that had more topspin than I expected, yeah, he's in a position where it's like, all right, well, he just makes an adjustment. He doesn't have his entire swing to have to adjust and modify. Right, exactly. This is one of those things, like we're called essential tennis because it's like, what is the most
essential.
foundational?
Absolutely.
Like, if we're gonna build on top of stuff,
I can't have a bad foundation.
Yeah, exactly. And so there's more like exciting, fancy things we could talk about.
No.
But when I look at your preparation, and this is after, this is going to be kind of scary. After seeing the example of Rafa, I want you to notice when the ball comes into the frame. And now, what kind of position is your body in? What's prepared right now to hit? If you had to pull the racket forwards right now, could you do it to hit the ball? How about on the bounce?
Nope.
Could you hit the ball?
Nope.
And so your hips are not yet 90 degrees. Your shoulders are short of your hips. With both Rafa and Novak, we saw about a 90-degree plane with the hips. And then on both forehand and backhand, the chest was turned a little bit past that at the bounce. You're short of your hips at the bounce. And so you've got all of this that you still have to do with your chest. You've got extra work you have to do with your hips, and your hands are in front of your body.
How in the world do I hit it?
I don't know, man. I have no idea. This is like the cliffhanger in the movie where it's like, how in the world is he going to make this happen? And you might remember the pace. Like, we were rallying at a solid,
decent pace.
Yeah, it was a solid pace. So it's not like I'm sitting. This is why I wanted to rally with you, because I saw this with the ball machine. It doesn't matter what depth I hit. It doesn't matter what speed I hit. You maintain the same tempo, which is when the ball bounces, that is your trigger to get everything set up. And that's it's a really common thing. It's not just you. A lot of players use that as like a trigger or like an indicator of bounce, hit. And every time the ball bounces, that's when they load and they prepare. But it's super, super late. Yeah, so watch this. It's really impressive. Like, you pull it off. It's not ideal, but from here, your hands have got to get back in a hurry. Your shoulders and your hips have got to get further back. And you can see the intensity and the effort here. And I think this is a big part of it. You have so much to do between here and here to get ready. It's like there's so much work that has to be done that I'm just imagining the amount of effort you feel internally is huge. Whereas you saw Rafa and Novak at a high level, or rather high speed of exchange, they're looking calm and relaxed, and it's because of the setup. And now, real quick from the back, this is why I asked Tyler to shoot from the back. This really illustrates that you see the ball coming. It's like, Joe, the ball's coming, man. Look at the angle of your hips relative to the baseline. Your chest is almost parallel to the net. The ball is landing right now, and you're just like, come on, ball, like. I'm waiting for you. Yeah, but none of your body is prepared yet. So watch it in full speed.
Wow.
A good athlete can adapt to a lot of different angles and timings and environments that are not ideal, but that doesn't mean that it's the best way to do it.
Everything from here is bonus for me today.
All right, great.
You've just earned everything, right, Nana? You've just earned everything that I wanted to accomplish by...
In 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
So that's what I think we should focus on. It's kind of a boring topic, you know?
It's not boring at all.
Preparation.
It's awesome.
But it's like, if you're not in that pole position when the ball bounces, you've got a whole lot of work to do in between the bounce and
awesome.
your hit.
That's awesome.
Any other details you want to look at?
Are there any that matter?
Not right now. All right, so our first task is to define what is an ideal preparation position. And I'm not going to necessarily dictate that to you beyond the key fundamentals that we talked about. Hips 90 degrees to the baseline, shoulders and chest a little bit past that, and hands prepared. I don't care if your hands are high, I don't care if your hands are low. Like, if the hips are not there, your chest is not there, and your hands are not back, then you're not at the top of the swing. Going back to...
I have to eliminate the blur. That's a fact what I got to do.
Yes. And so I'd love to see you start from a ready position, and I'm just going to let you kind of work through this on your own, kind of intuitively, and without going for speed or anything like that. I just want to see you calmly set what you feel is a good preparation position.
Okay.
Just one at a time. Good. And we're not even going to do forward swing right now. I just want to see you go from split step to calmly preparing your body. Are your hands ready to pull the racket?
Yeah.
Are your hips 90 degrees to the baseline?
Yeah.
Is your chest turned a little bit past your
I
hips?
think so, yeah.
I agree. I think your chest could probably be a little bit, yeah, and also your hips, I would say your hips are a little short. I think the separation between your hips and your chest is good. Now, if we could get your hips and the whole thing to just turn a little bit more, it would be even stronger. So here's what's going to happen now. You are going to split step when I release the ball. I'm just going to toss the ball underhand. You're going to split when I release the ball, and your goal is to be in this position when the ball bounces. You're not going to swing forwards. You're not going to hit the ball. You're just going to prepare at the bounce. So let's do 2 no ball practice setups, and then one with the ball. That make sense? And on these, just kind of imagine a ball coming and bouncing. And 2 more times. This time, I don't want to see any kind of urgency to the take back. Like just calmly prepare your body. Good. You can go slower than that. Do a couple slower ones. Yeah. Now you look like a good tennis player. It's crazy, huh? Now your hips are the same. That's good. Your hips and your hands are the same. Your chest, and listen, you need to understand that where we started, your chest was in front of your hips. And now we've got your chest to even with your hips. So great. We're just looking for a little bit more. Yeah. Look, the ball hasn't even bounced yet, Joe. Like there's the bounce here. And keep in mind, oh, I'm sorry, that was the second bounce. Here's the bounce, my bad. And what I was thinking while I was tossing to you that whole time was, we're only like 20, 30 feet apart. When we were rallying before, we're 80 feet apart. So you got way more time on the baseline one to prepare yourself. Yeah, and your response here on the left is, there's the bounce. So there's no comparison at all between these two. This Joe can hit the ball. This Joe cannot hit the ball. So this is going to improve every other part of your swing without focusing on it. Same thing, but now we're going to do practice, ball, no forward swing, and then ball, and you're actually going to turn forwards. And you only have one thought, and that is get to that coil position before the ball bounces on all 3. Let's go ahead and hit the ball. All right, practice, no ball. Good. With the ball, no swing. Good. With the ball and swing. Good. Yep, nice job. Here's no ball. Let's kind of make a mental image of that position right there, which is great. I mean, it's ideal. Hips perpendicular to the service line. Chest turned a little bit past that, hands back. Now here's with the ball. Nice, same position.
That looks about the same.
That's good. Yeah, it looks identical to me.
This one's not going to look like that.
Ready?
Nope.
All right. You know, it's similar to remember the friction before when we first introduced the ball. Your hips and your chest all of a sudden became parallel to each other, and so remember we started with your chest in front of your hips, and now your chest is parallel to your hips, and we just want to get your chest a little bit past your hips. Does that make sense? Yeah. But the timing's good. You're just a little short with your chest, and maybe a little short with the hips too. You're almost perpendicular there. But yeah, you think back where we started. This is like a whole nother universe where we're nitpicking a little bit.
Oh, yeah, this is great.
No. Joe, I want you to say, that's fantastic.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, there you go.
That's not unmotivated, though.
No, that's really nice. And then you've got so much time. All you have to do is just, to me, golf is such a better almost example of this because you've got gravity, you know? It's like once you set that top of the swing position, all you have to do is just let it fall. Yep. And I really kind of like that
That's a good
analogy for this. It's like once you get this set up, just let everything else just come around naturally. That looks really, really nice. All right, let's go halfway between the service line and the baseline.
Oh boy, this will be good.
So what's changing? What's changing now?
More time.
Yes.
So that can make it better.
Yeah, in theory. Practice. Ball. Hit. A little bit short on that one. I saw a little bit of the struggle again. Practice. It's just your old habit. Ball. Hit. That's better. Yep, that's better. That's better. Practice. Yep. The constant is the practice one always looks great. And now no swing. Good. And a hit. I wish I could show you the angle of your face, because it's like calm Joe, medium Joe, and I feed the ball and it's like, ah! I'd love to see you mirror the same intensity level on all 3 repetitions. Practice one, and then no swing, same calmness, and then with the hit, same calmness. Yeah, that's better, that's better, that's better. You don't need to struggle anymore, Joe. You let it go. This is gonna really take some intentional focus on your end to rewire this. Because this is with me doing this to you, you know? I go back and I hit a 80-mile-an-hour forehand. There's no chance you're gonna calmly prepare your body. So honestly, I'm really glad that I chose this, because it's more than just the mechanics, right? It's more than the position. There's intensity wiring in there that needs to be rewired. So here's your last one without a swing. That's great. So that's exactly the position we want to see. You're in that position as the ball bounces. Chest maybe a little short there, but A-, for everything, which is fantastic. And then here's the last hit that you made. And what I want to be careful of here is interesting. Watch your response. How quickly you get your racket back. I want to be careful that we don't replace. Granted, this is better than where we started, but I want to make sure that we don't replace one frantic hurried movement with another frantic hurried movement. You know, I'd much rather see you make that move really, really calmly. But the good news is we accomplished goal number 1, and that is be prepared before the ball bounces. That is goal number 1. And then goal number 2 is the stronger coil position. And then goal number 3 is do 1 and 2 calmly. All right, let's rally, Joe. Really calm, tempo. What's your only focus? That's it. All right, here we go. Good. Here you go. Yep. All right. Look at how much time you have, man. Yeah, you've got tons of time now to swing forwards. So when you go home, something that I want you to be aware of and be a little bit careful of is that we're not performing 2 takebacks. In other words, a quick see ya, my racket's ready, and then after the ball bounces, then you kind of have your real take back. Just something to be mindful of. I don't blame you at all for doing that right now, but we look at this compared to before, and you could hit the ball from this position. Is it your full, coiled position? No. But now at least we're in a position where you can pull the racket forwards at this moment in time. If all of a sudden the ball accelerates, you could swing from here. Yep. It's not as strong as here, but it's strong enough.
I should be there.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Your racket actually comes forwards again before. Yeah, here's your initial kind of show-off take back. And then your racket floats forwards a little bit, which is kind of more in the range of what you're used to before.
Yeah.
and
way better than
and
it
that,
was.
yeah, for sure, definitely. But even there, it's no comparison to where we started, but you can see now the process that it's going to take to form this as a new habit.
Yep.
It's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some work. And so previously, there's the bounce compared to currently. Yeah, your racket's floating forwards.
It is.
And so this is kind of like your see I'm prepared position, which is way better than before.
But,
Look at, this is the bounce on the left.
yep,
And it's floating forwards at the bounce, which is kind of funny.
yep.
And then you're going back to where you know you should be.
Really grateful. It was a great day. Sorry it's
It was.
over so fast, but I really, really enjoyed it.
We covered a ton. It went so fast because we just took like one project after another after
And
another.
it was fun. I mean, it was
Good.
fun. We had a good time.
You did great.
We laughed, we joked. You're a great coach, and
Thanks, man.
and you far exceeded expectations for sure. One or two things I got a ton out of today.
Excellent.
You made me a much better player.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Awesome. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
So have you had a chance to go out and practice since Monday?
No, just in the comfort of my own home. But yeah, no, I've thought a lot about it, and one interesting thing that came to me was two actually. The concept of waiting for the ball to bounce, right, in order to to be ready to hit when the ball bounces, right? I mean, that seems like such a fundamental concept, right? I mean, be ready to hit when the ball bounces. Now, I've never really heard it, actually put quite that way from anybody or anywhere. And I look at this stuff a lot, right? So that was really, really interesting. You in your own mind, personally, you think that okay, now I'm doing it right.
Yeah.
And unless you use the technique that you provide, there's just no way that you can see it. It's impossible. And so that's a really, really interesting benefit to that, what you do. Your teaching methodology is really your value proposition. Because again, I was told this before. It's not the first time I'd heard it. It's the first time I saw how serious the problem was.
The difference between like knowing that and having the information and actually training, habit, there's like the Grand Canyon is like between those two different stages of execution.
Yep.
And so I guess that's kind of at the core of my philosophy as a teacher is it's one thing to know, up here, but then bridging the gap between knowledge and doing is really actually the hardest part, for both me, the coach, and also the student.
Again, your ability to catch the problem and then immediately apply the technique to solve it is huge. I don't know whether you give enough credit to the shadow fake hit ball deal,
Mm-hmm.
but that's a big deal. Because the minute the ball is introduced, as you point out, everything starts to change, even in my own stroke, right? I mean, I walked away knowing that the ball is going to bounce and I'm going to be ready to hit. Whether it's the serve, whether it's a ground stroke, I am going to be ready to hit when the ball bounces, and I had never done that before. And that's all thanks and due to you. So that's a big deal. There's always more to learn. We love the repartee we have with you. It's fun. So we'll continue to do it, and sometimes it'll be just to confirm, have we made improvements since last time? And sometimes it'll be something new, but.
Well, thank you,
Hey,
Joe.
man.
Thank you for your support. Thank you for the feedback.
Hey, thanks a lot, Ian.
Thank you,
It's been
Joe.
so nice to partner with you on this, and look forward to a long relationship.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yep.
Talk to you soon. Let me know what you
bye.
need. So there you have it. Joe's an incredible student. I've actually spent multiple days on the court with his wife as well. They're both amazing athletes, amazing people, very focused, very driven. I look forward to being back on the court again with Joe soon. If what you saw really resonates with you and you'd like to spend time with me on the courts, we actually have a promotion right now. I'm very aware of what's going on in the world, and I know that a lot of people are in a very tough spot right now financially. And so we're actually doing a discount on private coaching sessions here with me in Milwaukee. So if you'd like more details, just send me an email to ian@essentialtennis.com. We'll let you know all the details, what's available. And I love nothing more than spending time on the court with passionate students just like Joe. So hopefully in the near future, you and I will get to have that opportunity as well.